the Turkish Super League match between MKA Ankaragucu and K-Call Rizespor. That particular match, something dastardly, something disastrous, something unsightly, something we don't want to happen in football happened that day. Just after the match, it was a 1-1 draw. In the 97th minute, that was when Rizespor, I think, equalized. And the Ankaragucu president rushed onto the pitch and gave the referee a punch direct in the face. And then we saw people kicking him. He was blocking with his face and all of that. We saw them kicking him and all of that. And now the Turkish league has been suspended. Look, just before we comment on that, you can send in your messages. We'll take calls later. 0802-0815-247. WhatsApp messages, not calls, not text. WhatsApp messages. Let's have your take on the debacle that happened in the Turkish league that we saw over the past week. Now, Lashe, we definitely have to start with you, man. This is something that even in Nigeria, we've seen quite a lot of it, and but it was shocking to see that in one of the big, well, not amongst the top 5, the top 10, one of the biggest leagues in Europe, where we saw. But this is something that we've regularly faced in the MPFL.
Yeah,
NBC. Still one in the NNL about when Interlagos equalized. Equalized. Interlagos.
Okay.
Equalized in the NNL, and then one of the officials, like their backroom staff, just went to the linesman and gave him a slap. Bro, their first own game in the league. Like, he gave him a slap.
I think I should tell you my story.
Yes, in
2015, when I went to officiate a game in Port Harcourt, a basketball game to be precise, a Premier League game. That same issue happened. I finished the game. It was myself and one Oyo referee who officiated that game. And what happened? They were looking for the Oyo referee. I was trying to protect him, and before you know, boom, they passed a chair on my head. And that's because they're home, and that's the reason why I don't like going away to officiate games like that. I think the foundation of the stuff is security. We do this job selflessly. It's our passion. But what we get at the long run is something that we don't really want to talk about. It's not really cool. Somebody is officiating a game, went for a course, passed the course, and became a referee, and is handling a game. At least there should be top-notch security for that kind of person. I don't care. There's going to be a mistake. It's not perfect. It's human, and there must be a mistake. But I think they went overboard, and I told you earlier that this thing has been happening before now. We just saw it openly in that particular game. They've not been controlled. They should control them at the beginning. There should be there should be strict measure. There should be strict discipline. There should be strict sanction for anybody that go. How can a president of a club walk down, and go directly and punch a referee? Obviously, he won't say anything because there'll be respect for that kind of person. But I think as a referee, we don't have security. It's something that we really have issue with, not in Nigeria alone, all over the world. And that's why most times when they complain about referees, something I don't like talking about it because I am part of them, and I realize that it's not easy to pick up a whistle and officiate a game. It's a very tough task to do that. But sometimes we make a mistake, but at least they should just be with us and protect the interests of the referees.
Wonderful. Tersi, what are your thoughts
on
all of this?
When he was talking about how uneasy you get when you tend to referee a match, I had the opportunity also. I'm a sports journalist, but somebody said, okay, come and officiate a match between two churches. To be honest, I was overwhelmed. I made errors.
You made errors?
I made errors. Even the boys that invited me. That was, I think, in October.
Easy.
The boys that invited me, when we say they respect me, say senior man. They won't beat me. Because I made one particular one indecision, something similar to what this guy did against Man City, where he said play on. But me, I wanted to blow the full-time whistle. And then I saw they were on the counter. So they fouled that person. Immediately the person wanted to play and said stop. And then they were still arranging their awards. I didn't even blow.
And you blew the full whistle?
No, they were still arranging their awards to defend. And then I didn't blow. But I said, are you ready? I just said, I used my mouth to say, are you ready? And then the guy played the ball, then they equalized. They won't rush me, even not because of their president. But to be fair, I think you're talking about referees not having security. Yeah. They do have security on the pitch.
That's right, yeah.
Now, especially in the MPF, I can see. I've gone to see games at different centers in Nigeria now. The policemen, the soldiers, they come immediately after the game. They surround the referee, the three referees and the match official. Match commissioner. They surround them. they enter into the dressing room.
If the referee is not from that state, it's so if the police are not from that state, it's cool. I had an issue when Sunshine was playing some years ago, where we had they even had ammo tank at the front of the stadium in Akure. They had police with ammo tank in front of the stadium. You know, they had this funny kind of stadium where it's on the street. They are in the front. They had a lot of police and soldiers. They still beat the referees.
I'm talking about on the pitch.
On the pitch, I'm talking.
No. On the pitch, there are policemen. Immediately after, I can start.
Of the game, okay, they usher them down.
Yes.
To,
So, like they'll make a circle.
We're talking about your experience. 2 weeks ago, or 3 weeks ago, we had TVC games here, right? And I was games master for football. So I refereed 8 matches. 8. Some had to help me referee the match that involved my department because due to integrity issues, I took myself out. Even though I had other games, people were officiating tournaments that involved their own departments, which I think was not right. I think that also gave me, some people saw that there was more respect for what I did. But yes, I had issues. I had people that way, normally they don't even talk with me.
Exactly, that way it is.
You know, football is volatile.
Yeah.
But you see,
Sports generally.
prior to the previous time when we really had it, because the last time I played, they won't even beat the head of my department.
There was the tension.
You see, there's something I found out with that experience that day. The referee has to exude confidence.
Yeah,
I never had
that's number one thing. Yeah.
And once you can exude confidence and control, and you see here, Baba, your first few decisions will lock you down.
You are correct.
This one I'm saying is just from experience.
You are correct.
One time I did it, but you see, I had mentally set myself up, so I kind of prepared a lot. I had weeks to prepare for it because I mentally set myself up, and then once I started, I called them, gave instructions, called the captains, told them there's some things that will happen. I am going to, and then we had punishments for yellow card, which is what FIFA is trying to do, the sin bin. FIFA is planning to bring it in by next year or leagues, where for the yellow card, you can take a player out for a number of minutes. Yeah. Now, officially, for 5-a-side and 6-a-side.
That's handball.
Yes, sir. Exactly. Volleyball and all the rest, we see them, and handball. Officially, for 5-a-sides, if you're playing futsal, the yellow card, you go out for like 2 minutes or so. So we had those rules in the game. So yellow cards were punishable offense. So at the beginning, I give yellow cards sharp, just to, I had to show say,
but Mike, to be honest, you are correct. Yeah. Confidence is what is major requirement as to be a referee. But some points, when you're giving a big game to officiate.
Definitely.
People just keep talking about it, like as for officiated Kano Pillars games in the Premier League, in the Nigeria Premier League game, basketball league. And I know when you officiate Kano Pillar game in Kano, the crowd is like watching. The crowd is like watching. The way they watch football is the way they watch basketball. At some point, you want to run away. Aside the confidence, you have the confidence.
But this is confidence. They talk about
but when you
okay, so you won't go now. They play this thing for continental tickets. But no matter your confidence,
see, the southeast, south or southwest. Very wonderful place. But if you go Sani Abacha Stadium, may good enough.
It's tough to officiate.
So what now? Look at this video where I've seen some of the images there from that particular ugly incident. What should happen to Ankara? See, the president should be punished
for life.
But then the club itself. You see, you are a representative of the club, number one person. So that means that, it's Ankara Gucci that punched that referee in the face.
Yeah, it was obvious.
So for me, the minimum punishment should be relegation. I know what a relegation.
No.
I think the president.
Smaller offenses that look.
The president himself should be responsible. Number one, banned for at least for 10 years. Yes. Any sporting.
Should not get close to
sport. I'm not saying football. Any sports.
Yes.
Any
after all,
sport.
And then for Oscar, now 10 years they give up. So yes, I agree with that one.
Yeah. And then the club itself, the point deduction.
Baba, I feel like
point deduction, then they pay heavy fine.
But
and then they'll
European fines are low. They don't try for fines. They see that fines. You hear 100,000, 400,000.
They should make them pay to this referee.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the face of that man. I've rarely seen a fine in Europe that is in millions.
Person will say 50 PM.
Really?
Tell Sterling to pay £200 for diving or anything.
I've really seen it. Maybe yes. First of all, yes. You should not even for me for life. You should not come near. And FIFA. The FIFA president also spoke on this. He should not come near any footballing arena activity for life. Yeah. I know what I'm saying. Because you need to snip. If you don't give a strong distance, it will happen again.
Yes, obviously, it will.
And because if you don't give something strong, you will happen and say, "I wasn't a good
Yeah,
now."
they collect money from our hand. We go do them.
They go do them. So we utterly
Look at that man's face.
we utterly condemn such behavior, and also in the MPFL.
Yeah.
This should never happen.